The following Toku Podcastu contains spoilers from both past and present tokusatsu, anime, manga, movies and other related media. If you do not wish to be spoiled, we suggest turning off the podcast now. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tokusatsu Podcastu. Hey, yay.
What the fuck did you just say?
Nariowo?
That's Jay.
Oh, okay. I guess that's me then. All right. Pudding popsicles. I guess now I'm Bill Cosby or whatever. All right.
I was hoping you'd stop before that, so I could just say which time.
Well, you have the power of editing, so you can do that.
Do I though?
Do you?
I think you do.
I do. Anyway, that's Chad.
Nani Uwu. I'm just gonna go back to my hole and my cave. I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Just I guess mess with apps on my phone and hope one of them turns me into a hero or villain. I don't know.
All right.
And Phil already did his intro, so here, and that's Phil.
Hi. I'm trying to come up with a quip, but I'm struggling right now.
Looks like you weren't properly equipped with that.
Oh shit! Looks like he's getting held back for that one.
That was terrible.
We always start with a good old-fashioned pun here on this show. Anyways, we're talking about another Sentai because fuck, we can't get away from this fucking shit. The high school heroes. Yeah,
No, you gotta say it like the announcer.
Sentai, quote unquote.
It's close as we're gonna get this week. So Jay, you know about stuff. What's high school heroes?
So, the quickest way to summarize it is High School Heroes is some fucking boy band got hired by Toei to be in a drama, and for whatever reason, Toei decided to make it a Sentai-themed show. So, it's about a bunch of fucking high schoolers who decide to become superheroes because reasons. I put about as much effort into that description as the show did, so don't get mad at me.
Yeah, and of course, this is the glorious return of our favorite pal, Yuya Takahashi. Oh my god, is this ever a show that he wrote? My fucking
Yuya,
goodness.
no refunds, Takahashi.
Dude, if there was ever a show I would point at to be like, this is how he writes. Oh my god. It doesn't help, too, that it was also co-written by one of the guys who did 01 with him. So I'm like, oh, wow. We're just rocking and rolling today, bud.
So we have Takahashi as the quote-unquote head writer, even though he only did about 4 of the 8 episodes, which I guess makes him the head writer. We also had Masaya Kakehi, who did was the second head writer of 01. And who was the other writer? It was Toshio
Guy who
Yoshitaka,
wrote some stuff with Dragon Ball Super.
Did a bunch of shit for Dragon Ball, yeah, and nothing else really notable. So yeah.
Let's start with the characters. Let's start with the Ex-Aid lookalike, Red. I'm sorry, he looks a lot like Ex-Aid. From many angles, he looks a lot like Ex-Aid. The only thing he doesn't have is the
I
teeth.
didn't see that. He looks more traditional rider, whereas Ex-Aid looked more boyish, if that makes sense.
The actors look very similar, dude.
I
like,
mean,
there's points where like the
definitely
eyes look
thinner
similar.
than Emu was.
I don't know how that's possible.
And Emu's like a twig.
I mean, he has kind of like a fatter face around her head, and he's got much more of an angular like jawline to him. I think is more my point.
Sure.
But
yeah, Red. He's a thing.
He likes Go Ranger. Did you guys not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Chad.
a fucking 17-year-old, 18-year-old liking Go Ranger. What the fuck?
Yeah, in 2022. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the most believable. At least there's an excuse for why he's obsessed with Go Ranger. I mean, that's fine. Why everybody else is super gung ho for the show is a little bizarre. I guess this.
See, why did he never like watch past Go Ranger?
I guess not.
Apparently not.
He only like he's like, no, I can't watch any of the show. It peaked at Go Ranger, guys. Everything else was just shit.
I'm sure there are plenty of people who think that.
I mean,
It peaked at Go.
I mean, God forbid you show him Shinkenger, he might have a heart attack.
He probably would.
So yeah, Red. He was really fucking bland, honestly.
He didn't really.
He's very.
He's alright.
One note. He's very
Yeah.
one note.
Like he's all right, but there's really not much to him until like the very end, and even then, it's like, it's weird to say, but with 8 episodes at 48 minutes, it feels like they didn't give him any time.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's
Definitely not.
one of the biggest problems of this show is that it does not utilize its time effectively in any way.
It really doesn't. All it does, like the first 4 episodes, are basically introducing. Well, we've already introduced our characters, but it's essentially getting each new member. It's not like a pacing thing. It's more, oh, we're getting the Green Ranger this episode. Oh no, next episode it focuses on Yellow. We're gonna get Yellow, and everything like that.
No, see, I would very much argue it is a pacing issue because the first episode we get introduced to
And
Red
Blue.
and Blue.
Yeah.
So why couldn't you have done that every single why couldn't you have done that until you get all the characters in? Because it's 48 fucking minutes, dude. I'm sorry, but especially like fucking Green's episode, or no, not Green's, fucking Yellow's episode. It's like, did we really need 48 minutes for this?
Yeah, this didn't need to be a full hour length episode because it could very easily be condensed down, or I mean, hell, you could very easily combine the 2 plots of 2 different episodes into one. Like, you could combine, well, Green's at least effectively utilizes the runtime, but like you can combine Yellow and Pink's together and you wouldn't lose any details in either story because so little happens in both that you could pretty much just skip over the less important parts of each one.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and that's kind of the biggest issue with most of the characters in this show is that, well, they have. I will put this out relatively, like just right now. This show is very Showa in how it's being portrayed, but I would hazard to guess Go Ranger at least utilized its runtime a bit better than this did for its characters because most of its characters don't have anything. Like Red, again, he's just generic red guy.
Like, I think if anything, like, first off, I think this is also just, it could just also be a thing of the times, but honestly, like, in the original Go Ranger, like, I did see the first few episodes a long time ago. There was obviously character development in other episodes, but it's honestly, the thing that they had it was, everyone started off as a hero. Where, like, you kind of see, okay, this is what, like, the Black Cross Army does to, like, Aka Ranger, All Ranger, and, like, different stations of Eagle going off in Japan. Just like, okay, we're all the like last survivors of these bases, and here's why we have to like kind of kick these guys' asses on a week-to-week basis. Here, on the other hand, I would say, while I feel like overall this show was more or less the most fun I've kind of had in Sentai in a while. But then again, that's also a really low-hanging fruit. I really feel like, if anything, due to its 48-minute runtime, you could have had, like, at least 2 Rangers at least handled in one episode of 48 minutes. Because initially, if we think about it, it's, like, 24 minutes per episode, right? Then why not have Red and Blue the first one, and then Yellow and Green the second one, and then, I don't know, Pink and do some type of plot in the third. I don't know. But just...
See, that's kind of what I was thinking of, because like it really does feel like plenty of time is spent on setting up the Rangers, and then it almost feels like they think, oh shit, we spent like 30 minutes setting them up and we need 10 minutes of like payoff. It's like, we don't need that. Like, this doesn't feel, again, like Jay said, that none of this needed to be 48 minutes. It did not. I guess that goes to...
And I would largely chalk that up to the fact that this is a boy band. It's an already established group coming in to do a show. So there's that natural expectation where they need to be given that spotlight because, well, they're the main focus. They're why the show is being made. So we need to devote all this time to their characters, but there isn't anything else to fill the episodes, and the character moments just kind of drag on when they come up. Like I'll be honest, I do like Taisei the most. I like Red the most because, I mean, he's kind of like, he fits with the premise and he fits with the setting. I think he's the best out of the main five, mostly because, well, for starters, he's the only one who can fucking act. They're all awful actors.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Granted,
too.
he isn't a very good actor either, but he's at least playing a naturally hammy, exaggerated character, so he makes it work. But I think that's also why I like him the most, is because he's very much that typical hero character that you would see in this kind of high school hero setting. You know, he's the kid who's as obsessed with being a hero, and now he actually gets to be a hero, so he's just living it up, he's playing it up, and that's what makes him entertaining. That's what makes him a great foil to bring the rest of the cast around. It's just everybody else is just so fucking boring. Like I kept getting yellow and green mixed up the entire time after their debut episodes. Like even during their debut episodes, I couldn't remember who was who. Because not only I don't mean to be like a racist or whatever this time. Usually, you know what I'm trying to be racist, but they look identical. They have the same haircut, same hair color, and everything. I always got them confused.
Yellow is way more pretty, though.
Well,
he's way prettier than green.
Green
really, dude. Green looks like fucking Chalice and Axis.
Yes, I was about to say that.
I'm sorry, but he's not exactly boy band handsome. Let's be honest.
Is it weird that I used to that there were times where I actually mixed up blue and pink?
No, that's...
Yeah, no, you know what? I thought that's where Jay was going, because I did too.
Fair.
There's a few times where I did mix them up a little bit.
No, I didn't get mixed up, mostly because Pink had a very different acting style than the rest, so I think whenever
Oh,
Pink
no.
showed up,
I don't mean when they were acting. I mean more like when they were like
when they're standing around.
Yeah. There's a couple of times where they're just standing around. It's like, if I didn't see the headband, I'd be like, what the fuck? Why are there two blues?
No, see, again, I think Pink, what's the word I wanted to use? I think just the way they portrayed the character made them naturally stand out for me personally.
The way they portrayed the character. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. Anyways, so on Blue real quick. Honestly, I kind of liked Blue a little bit more than not as much as Red, because like you said, Red was just more naturally charismatic. But I actually liked Blue a little bit because I don't know. I usually like the generic stereotype of what Blues are. You know, they're the smart guys. They're the tacticians of the group.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
I liked it,
and
I like him because honestly, everybody else is just kind of really fucking boring.
I did like Red and Blue's the contrast between the two, where Blue is like a complete normie, and he's like, what the fuck is a Go Ranger? What is this shit? What is all this hero nonsense? And he slowly starts getting like really getting into it, and he starts like kind of copying Taisei a little bit. I like that about him, but he's still a normal person when you compare to him. So I like there's that bit of a comedic contrast there whenever he does something that Taisei would. He's kind of like, am I really doing this? He's a little self-conscious, I guess.
But
I think that makes him.
I like his.
Really
I mean,
well.
shit. It even shows in his in his transformation pose. He's just kind of like.
But he is also gung ho with what he does. Like he literally he says, I always gotta be the tactician. I always gotta be prepared for this stuff. He's sitting there studying this stuff, even though he's not the big fanboy like Taisei is.
That's because he's a giant nerd. But I mean, like honestly, like the best way we could probably equate him to is like the growing closet otaku. Like the one that like we try and get our friends into like Kamen Rider when they finally turn Or like when they finally get into it, kind of. I guess. Think about it.
You know,
He's
you know exactly who he reminds me of.
Who?
Not 1-to-1, but I think Jay's gonna get it. He reminds me a lot of Akiba Blue.
I was literally
Yeah,
just
I can
about
see
to say
that.
that.
Oh, really? Like it's like almost 1-to-1, where it's like Akiba Blue's just like, ugh, this Sentai shit's gay as fuck, and then she's like, I watched the entirety of Go On. No, it was a Deca Ranger. Wait, what
think
the
it was
fuck? Was it
Giant. I
Deca
remember.
Ranger and Go Onger?
Wasn't it? Was it?
I think it was like Deca Ranger and Go Onger in like a night or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, lady, you put my binging skills to shame. Holy fuck!
She must watch them simultaneously. But yeah,
Like
that's
yeah.
literally what I was about to say. Is that he's very much like Akiba Blue compared to Taisei's Akiba Red, and that's kind of the general vibe the show has. It's very Akiba Ranger in that sense of like, here are characters who are fans of the fictional Sentai series who become a Sentai-like team in real life, but it doesn't do as much of the fun meta. It's also got a little bit of Forze in there too, with the high school setting, obviously, and
Yeah.
you got the school club of heroes, and there was a couple other things it reminded me of. There was a show that I know that none of you guys are going to know, but I also can't remember the name of because it's really long. But it's the same kind of like concept of like, here are a bunch of like normie kids who get chosen to be superheroes in a high school, and it kind of like plays with the tropes of the show. But that's more like a magical girl parody kind of thing rather than a Sentai. But it's the same kind of concept.
Okay.
It reminded me of a lot of different things, and doesn't do them as well, but we'll get to that as when we get further on. But yes, Blue instantly reminded me of Akiba Blue a lot, in that sense that he's kind of that normal person who starts getting obsessed with the series, but also is still kind of normal. So there's that fun comedic contrast with his actions and how he deals with the superhero shenanigans he gets into.
Honestly, again, that's probably why he was one of my favorite ones, because he had a fucking character, really. Not a great character.
Well, it's
He
better
didn't
than
have
nothing.
much, but he had nothing. It's better than fucking nothing. Unlike fucking Green, who just want to fuck his sister again with the fucking incest. What is it with these shows?
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't.
Anyways.
it wasn't even Mori this time.
What is it with Japan and
Yeah,
incest?
it wasn't even that fucking hack. Like, what the fuck, dude? We don't need more incest.
Guys, you keep on forgetting the key phrase for all these shows. Incest? Or the wincest. Come on.
You don't win with
Listen,
incest.
Chad.
You know what you get with incest, Chad? You get kids with 15 toes.
Not
Listen, Chad, I know plenty about that, but there's a time and a place for it, and in my goofy children's superhero shows is not the place for it, okay?
Thanks, Professor O.
That's the thing. This isn't even a fucking children's
it's not
show.
That's
right.
Well, it's not just the extra toes. It also is just a whole bunch of other psychological problems.
Okay, we're
That's
looking
something.
in too
That's
deep
something
into
else,
this, guys.
Phil.
Yeah, all right, yeah, we're
I'm blaming Phil on that
How
one
are you
as
blaming
usual.
me for
Anyways,
this when you brought it up?
Well, Phil,
I'm not
there's
the
a
one. I'm not the one who
explanation.
started talking about the actual shit.
Yada,
Anyways,
yada, yada,
so
DK,
Blue.
let's move on.
So, anyways, Yellow, boring as fuck.
I mean,
He is-
What the fuck
like-
was Yellow? Literally had no reason to join the team, or Taisei didn't even have a reason to want to pick him. He's like, oh, he kind of likes curry.
No, it's the way
No,
he
it's
eats
just like-
the curry.
No, he did have a reason.
Eats the curry just like I forget his actor's name. The one who won
Key Ranger.
Key Ranger's actor
Ranger, yeah.
could eat like curry a certain way. That was his only reason. Though I will say,
No.
I
There
will-
was
I
he
will
actually
simplify this.
did give a
I
reason.
will simplify this. He eats curry, and you know what? Oh man, that guy's cool.
No. He actually did give a reason. What the fuck? Did none of you pay attention to the fucking
No,
subs?
the fucking subs weren't very easy to
yeah,
pay
they
attention to.
weren't.
Well, I know, but like he did give a fucking reason.
what
though.
was it?
He did, but
I
it's
have
not
to
like it
stand up. I
mattered.
have to stand up for at least
Is
that.
it incest?
Did you?
I seriously think Phil's fetishes are coming out tonight. Yellow has nothing. Green dances. I guess we have to talk about Pink.
Hold on a minute. No.
We have to talk
Let's-
about Pink.
No, Yellow. He's dirt ass poor, and I found that kind of hilarious. Just, I was like, oh wow, he's really into sticks.
I just
See, like,
But it's like they basically turned into a really shitty kaiji.
I actually liked his episode because it was actually a commentary on how addiction, whether it be drugs, gambling, nicotine, alcohol, can basically tear.
You're looking too deep into this,
It tears
buddy.
away at somebody. Like you'll literally do death.
I know, but you're looking a little too
I
deep
know,
into
but that's
this.
all that I
this
can
show was
think
not.
of.
This show was not trying to be above the
It's
influence.
not,
let's
but
be-
I
let's be
I
perfectly
get
honest.
that. I get that, but that's what I saw from that entire episode.
Okay, Ken's on. Anyways,
Oh my god.
speaking
Anyways,
of getting
but
Twitter
yeah.
canceled,
oh, let's go. Let's do this, bud. I'm ready.
know,
I'm already knee deep in like
I
2
am
beers. Let's
so
fucking
scared.
go.
Listen,
Let's
dude.
talk about Pink.
dude, this fucking
You know what? Hold on. Let's let Jay talk
Oh,
about
fuck
it. You
me.
have the most tact of all of us.
Well, let's start with when I get to the episode and I post just a random screen cap of the beginning of the episode making a comment. And fucking Rabbit, as always, the bringer of bad news, comes and he's just like, "Oh, geez, that episode now." And I'm like, "Oh God, what the fuck?"
What do
does
you
this-
mean,
what-
that
What does this
episode?
fucking leaf mean this time? So we go ahead in the episode, and I forget what happened. It was something in the previous episode where the girl sidekick gets her shit kicked in, and she gets sent to the hospital. And
As usual.
while she's in a coma, Pink is there with her and starts completely unprompted to himself going on a tangent about how he is a trans woman. And oh boy, oh fucking boy, I wanted to quit right then and there because I know that there was no fucking way in hell we can get through this episode without seeing something that's gonna piss me off.
This look. Let's regroup here. So as Jay said, yes, the Pink Ranger in this show, it's not a he. Don Brother still got that. It's a she.
And then when AJ,
It's a
when
she.
when AJ was like, "Oh man, did High School Heroes beat it for the first male Pink?" I was just like,
Yeah.
"Ooh,
Yeah.
so glad nobody
Yeah,
outside our server is gonna see this." Oh,
Look. I'm not gonna lie. I probably should have seen it coming, but it still hit me like a fucking truck when it happened. I was like, wait, what?
see, like, I vaguely remember when the show was airing, seeing people talk about Pink, though the usual suspects bringing up Pink in this regard. I'm like, I was trying to remember when I was going through the show. I was like, there was something about it. Was like, what was he? I think he was just like gay or something like that. No, he is a transgender, bender, gender, whatever you want to fucking call it. these days.
Bender Urobuchi.
Well,
Again,
there's a
look.
reason why we didn't have you say it, Phil, is because you would have said it nice.
That's why.
Look. I mean, look. We're not saying anything really offensive. It's
Well,
just.
you're not. I
I mean, what have we said that's offensive,
Wait.
really? But like, okay, so so here's what I say about Pink, right? The idea of her, I'm gonna say her because I mean, come on, the idea of her being transgender was actually an interesting concept at first, but then they kind of just kept bringing it up over and over and over, really tactlessly, to just solve any problem that Pink had. Like it's like at the point where it's just like a person who is about to quit McDonald's. It's like, oh, you shouldn't quit McDonald's because I'm trans. It's like, I don't like. It was like that. Like any little problem that came up in the show, they tried to use that as a way to. Again, I just think it kind of came off a bit tactless the way they were doing it. Again, I don't mind the idea of them being transgender because I thought that would have been interesting. And at first, they were kind of treating it with the grounded seriousness that you would hope. Like, it's to the point where, like, what the fuck was his name? Ichika. I thought it was Daiji from fucking Revice for a second. Anyways, but, like, they started treating it with, like, some sort of seriousness where it's like, oh, he's trying to come out to his parents, but he's kind of afraid of that and blah, blah, blah. But, of course, Yuya Takahashi, being Yuya fucking Takahashi, just completely glazes over that shit and starts using it as if, like, oh, I was once evil. Like he's basically using it like if like a bad guy turns good, and it's like, well, I was once evil too. It's like, you shouldn't be doing it that way. That's really fucking dumb, and it kind of just comes off. Honestly, it just comes off kind of bad.
It comes off as a bit insensitive, if anything.
That's
yes, absolutely.
And
you were saying
my personal opinions about the subject aside, I agree with AJ in that early, at least in like the first half of the episode, it's handled fairly well, and it's not like, because they have the initial scene where Pink brings it up, and then it doesn't really like come up at all through the rest of the episode. Like Taisei's talking about like, oh well, we need a Pink, we need a fifth member. It's like, well, let's just look for fucking whoever. It's like, no, Pink's gotta be a woman because Pink is always a woman. That's the rule, you know. Which, fair enough. I'm fine with that kind of meta joke there, where it's like, no, we absolutely have to have Pink be a woman. And, you know, there's that whole playoff with them there. I liked that idea, but then like the rest of the episode, they just kind of like forget to bring it up in scenes where it would be like reasonable to. And then like there's the whole thing again where he starts trying to come out to his parents, where and his dad, who is Red Falcon for some reason.
No.
Which weird casting choice, by the way, because he's in like one scene.
He doesn't
and has like one line of dialogue.
Wait, Red Falcon from Live Man?
Yes.
From Live Man.
He
Yeah.
Okay, you know what,
oh my
Phil?
god, did
Let's
he
just-
bulk up? He does not look like how he did back then.
Well, Phil, because Live Man was in the fucking 80s. No shit, he doesn't look like that anymore.
Oh my
You know what,
god.
let's just get this out of the way. There were a bunch of Sentai cameos, just Tokusatsu cameos in general.
Well,
but we'll
yeah,
get to
we'll-
it
we'll
later.
get- we'll get to
Fucking
the-
Majin Red
we'll
was
get
in
to
the same
those.
episode, yeah.
yeah, we'll get to those when we get to those, because right now we're talking about something that we have to be careful.
Yes,
with.
we have to
But,
be
I-
really careful with it.
Yeah.
I liked the idea. It's like, well, okay, let me start small. Let me try with mom first, and then dad comes home. It's like, well, okay, dad is kind of like, you know, traditional family roles and all of that. So we're gonna put that on the back burner. But then the rest of the episode doesn't get brought up again. And then at the end, Pink comes out to the rest of the team after they're accepted onto the team. It's like, oh well, we'll just help you with your family problems, guy that we've known for like a fucking week. I mean, sure, you're on the team now and we're friends, but like, we'll help you with this very sensitive personal problem. And that was like, all right, not too big of a fan of that. I mean, it could be any context, you know. It could be, oh, Pink is gay, Pink is whatever you want to say, any kind of like sensitive thing that you would want to keep secret from a family or other
Yeah.
people. You know, in any context. Having it be like, oh sure, random person that we've known for a week, we'll insert ourselves into your family drama is like, I'm not a fan of that personally. Like again, like if I were like in a real life situation, if I had come out to a group of people, it's like, oh hey, I'm gay, but I don't like to talk about it, with family, and they're like, oh well, we'll help you come out to your family. Like, no, motherfuckers, like that's my problem. I don't want you involved.
Honestly, I thought that's where that was going. Like, the way that they said in the episode, I thought they were going to be like, yo, Red, calm it down, bud. That's
like,
not what we're
Tai
doing
say,
here.
okay, there's a limit to when we need to be heroes.
It's a sweet,
basically.
a sweet gesture, but it really is not any of his business. It's
Yes,
it's
yes.
it's Ichika's business.
Like, if,
Yeah.
Again, go
like,
for
if
it.
anything, like, when seeing that scene initially, the thing I felt like I was watching is like, this feels like something I'd see in Forze. This feels like something Gentaro would do. However, this is an inappropriate moment to have that kind of thing, as we've all been
Yes.
clearly saying.
Yeah, like in literally any other context, that wouldn't be as jarring. But that's one of those like, okay, I understand it like as a moral support thing. That's fine. But being like, yeah, we'll help you with your problems, confronting it directly, I'm like, no, that is a terrible idea. Why would you do that? That's like that's like when the fucking people on like Tumblr or whatever do like a comic of like, they do the fucking and then everybody on the bus clapped shit. It's like, that doesn't fucking work like that in real life. It's not gonna fucking work. It's gonna make things worse. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, dude, that's the biggest problem I had with the whole thing of him being her being transgender. Again, I don't mind the idea. I kind of like the idea because it's interesting. But the problem is that, one, they do it so tactlessly that it comes off as, I hate to say it, but it does come off a little bit insulting. And two, because it's Yuya Takahashi, and we know this guy doesn't dwell on anything for any amount of time. We saw this in X-A, we saw this in 01. He doesn't give anything the proper time. It's literally just been like, it literally just gets glossed over like, oh, you just came out? Yeah, that's cool, but there's a monster, so you put your fucking personal problems aside, please.
That's
what the
another
fuck?
problem I have with the pacing of the show is that we spend the entire first half of the show establishing each member of the team in one single episode each. And then we have the entire last half of the show to completely resolve the plot. And even then, we don't even have the entire last half, because we spend the next 2 episodes having the fucking villain go through a face turn and becoming a member of the team, and then we waste more time on that, which could have been pared down to 1 episode entirely, to be perfectly honest. Hell, I mean, again, if we're doing the idea we're combining team members, you could have left that as a 2-part episode, but then make that episodes 3 and 4 so you have the entire last half of the show to actually do the fucking plot.
Like, I think the thing that really bothers me with this show is the fact that initially these first 4 episodes, the only thing that we know about these characters is just they can be easily summarized in just one word. Red, he's the Go Ranger guy. Blue, he's a smart one. Yellow, he's dirt poor and athletic. Okay, well that's 2 words, but I mean, pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Green.
I like that.
Pink,
Chad.
I don't feel comfortable talking about it, so it's just like, that's just.
No, that's perfectly fair.
I don't want to offend people. I'm just going to be very honest.
Well, okay,
and then green. He dances.
Okay, look,
and also Syscon.
Well, look, okay. I think from pink we can go to silver because it gives him. It's not obviously to the extent that. Let's be honest. If the Western audience, like our audience, watched fucking this show, pink would be the only thing they'd be talking about because of how bad they did it. But I think silver is
he's the one who gets the most development.
Not even though, because Yuya Takahashi doesn't give him much time.
When I say development, I mean he's the one who actually goes through somewhat of an arc. He goes from being an antagonistic force to discovering that it's okay to fail, it's okay to succeed, it's okay to be second, and he becomes a better person for it.
But see, here's the problem with that, Phil, is that they give him like maybe an episode, and even then, that's not enough time to establish that. It's basically like trying to give us the entire arc of, I don't know, throw a fucking dart like of a Toku hero and hit on that. Like, it's trying to give us an entire arc in 48 minutes, and as we've seen with other shows, you can't do that. You can't do that, especially because they try to make it seem like he's friends with the other Rangers. It's like, when the fuck did that happen? He's friends with them? Are you sure he's friends with them?
They're friends
I don't
now.
see that.
Because,
yeah, they're just friends now. No, it's not even just that. It's like, 1, they're friends now, and 2, Red just knows them on like almost a first name basis. It's like,
it takes a while.
You barely even spoke to the guy up to this point. Like, what are you doing? Like, who is this guy to Red? I thought they were gonna like introduce like, oh, he and Red were friends as kids, like they did with Yellow. But no, he's just some guy, and Red just like, you're my friend now. Why? Who are you? What the fuck are you?
And see, like, that works in like Forze because that's Gentaro's character, and it makes sense because he actively tries to befriend the heroes up to that, the villains up to that point. But then like Taisei randomly doing it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and then he's like, oh, I want to be friends with you, oh, I want to help you, but then they still fucking blow him up with the football, and I mean, like, all right. I don't see the logic behind that idea.
Again, it all comes down to the fact that they don't give him any time. Like, think about it. They foreshadow the medal, once? In, like, the episode previous or 2 episodes before?
Something like that.
And then after that, And then after that, we get a scene of fucking Jiro from Kiva beating the shit out of his mom for no reason. It's just there. And then that's it. That's all the backstory we get from him. It's like, you need a bit more.
We get a little
bit
more in that he had a how do I put this? He had a he was boinking one of his teachers, essentially. He was boinking one of his teachers, yeah.
That was so unnecessary too. It's like,
weird.
why?
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, like,
His whole backstory was so fucking weird. It's like his mom got beaten, he fucked his teacher, and then his teacher left him for dead. It's like, what the fuck? Why?
like, here's the thing: you could have made that like whole teacher-student thing work a little better if you. I mean, because the thing is that, like, I was about to say, if you made it tie into why he's a villain, but they did. That's the problem. He's a villain because he got fucking catfished into being a villain because the fucking main villain, the principal, had his daughter pretend to be a teacher to seduce him to get him into a crime. Then like, it's so unnecessarily convoluted, my guy.
Basically, it's another Keikaku Dori.
Exactly. It's literally all according to the principal's Keikaku.
But see, here's the biggest problem. Here's the biggest problem of that, though. Either way, is that why? Like, why did you need to seduce him to be a student council president? This guy already kind of seemed like he was already in it. So why not just be like, hey, kid, be student council president? Shit, they basically got some random hoodlums off the fucking street toward the end anyway. So why not just say, hey,
AJ,
you're the president now?
AJ, it's a Japanese high school. The student council is as powerful as the prime minister. You can't just walk in.
Obviously,
I want to be
obviously.
the president.
The crime is more of locking him into it. That is saying like, oh, I got you. Oh, I know what you did. Now I got you, but I got you by the balls. You're gonna do what I tell you to do.
It's blackmailing, obviously.
Okay, but
yeah.
Okay, but how do you lock someone in that you never had in your grasp to begin with?
He needed to get him in his grasp. That's how he got him into the grasp.
And he never did. Like maybe maybe his daughter's pussy's grasp, but nobody else's. Like, think about it. Like, what is the point of the entire plan? Why not literally just be like, hey, kid, I know about you. I know about you wanting to be the best. Why don't you be the student council president? You can be the best
That's
of that.
temptation.
Simple.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be so much easier than just like whoring out your own daughter?
Temptation is-
Which, by the way, where did she even go?
Would probably been more
She
normal.
was living in the basement, I guess, making smartphone apps.
That's another thing. Also, where the fuck did all these villains come from? Like, what the fuck? Like, we had John, we had the random secretary, then we had the second secretary, then we had fucking Daigo's dad. Like, what the fuck?
We had the fucking dad from Revice, who somehow I knew and was still surprised was going to be a villain.
No, he's a villain, but he had his mind messed up to be a villain in his mind, and to everyone else.
Always wanted to be a villain, but he was being mind controlled, but he was doing it willingly.
Like, okay, no, to be
brain.
honest, I feel like, just in a nutshell, the first 4 episodes, at least, I could say were kind of fun. But, like, when it gets into, the first, or, like, the last 4, like, the last few episodes, especially onwards with, like, the introduction of Silver, and then going into Red's, I guess, childhood and, like, his past and whatnot, and really also hammering in just, like, the main motivations of our villains, which, if we're going to be honest, makes no sense.
Yeah, like, what was their motivation? I guess to make the principal prime minister. I guess I don't fucking
I
know.
can't tell by the subs.
That much was easy to understand for me. The principal thought that the state of society and that kids were. It's basically the plot of Battle Royale, where kids are a bunch of
Shibuya
delinquent.
15 all over again.
Kind of, yeah.
Minus
it's kind of
the
like
killing
Shibuya
each
15.
other.
Well, I mean, there was a little bit of killing. Yeah, but yeah, like AJ said, it's kind of like Battle Royale or Shibuya 15. You know, the kids of today are a bunch of delinquent bullshit punks,
Which they
so
are.
we're going to force them to comply so we can keep society straight and narrow, pure, right, and beautiful, as they say. So okay, that's fine. That's a reasonable enough plan.
Sure.
But then it starts getting really fucking convoluted with mind control and smartphone apps and we have a fucking cell phone app that turns you into a monster, which I don't even know where the hell that even begins to make any
that
sense
your tears
logically.
can just make into a fucking hero app somehow.
Yeah, that was like
Your tears can seep through the electronics and the motherboard to make a new
It's
app.
Sentai logic.
I guess.
So Taisei's dad, because he's Tomokazu Seki and also a gigantic Go Ranger fanatic, somehow invented technology to turn you into an actual superhero, which he doesn't do anything with, I guess. He just kind of has now. He gives it to his kid and doesn't really do anything with it. Like for fuck's sakes, man, you could be a millionaire. You've literally invented henshin technology and you don't do anything with it. So then he gave it to
I don't want to do anything with it. I want to just protect the high school.
I just want to pretend to be Aka Ranger all day, you know.
I mean, hey, I guess.
I mean, sure. So I gave it to my childhood friend, who, because he's a fucking weirdo and was obsessed with being the supervillain in our childhood games, decided to become a real supervillain. But the principal was already a supervillain somehow, and he already had these powers, maybe, sort of, I guess. But what?
Look. Here's where I started getting fucking X8 flashbacks. If you have the powers to rewrite the entirety of anybody's memories at any fucking time, no matter what you do and no matter how you do it, why the fuck did he lose?
Because plot.
How do you lose?
Because he didn't.
Literally, all you need to do is your bing bong bullshit where you just point your hand at them and that's it.
Because
how do you lose?
He didn't have the Kokoro of his Nakamatachi in order to overcome the evil.
Fuck
AJ.
you, Takahashi, you fucking hack. How did you write X8? This is bullshit.
Probably high, to be entirely honest.
This is so
You know what?
bullshit.
Yeah, at least-
All of this show is bullshit.
You know what? At least for X8, he at least probably had more time to write it and flesh it out.
Oh, well, no, absolutely.
obviously.
He had plenty of time to write X-Aid, and here he had 8 fucking episodes, half of which he didn't even do. I mean, granted, I'm sure he oversaw the other episodes, so he probably still had his hand in them, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so we're going to introduce this elaborate conspiracy about mind control and government cover-ups and all this shit about, like not even, I almost said time travel, like memory manipulation and all this shit with my dead dad and secret technology, and we're gonna do it all in 2 fucking episodes. Like, no, what are you fucking thinking about? You insane bastards.
That at least needs a couple episodes to do.
Like, I think, honestly, I think the whole thing of Silver kills it. Because putting in Silver wastes way too much time building him up. Even though it's obvious he's going to become a hero, because they fucking spoil that in the goddamn opening credits there.
Yeah, that's so bullshit.
Because obviously he's a member of the band, so obviously he's going to be in there because, you know, obviously he's going to become a fucking hero. He's not going to stay a bad guy, was whatever. Even though he should have just stayed a bad guy.
But see, that's the fucking problem, though. Like, again, it all goes back to the fact that Takahashi doesn't know how to use his fucking time.
No.
He doesn't know how to use his time. Every single time they give him a show, he always either rushes or takes too much time with everything. And it's like, dude, literally all of this shit could have been done by episode 4, and you could have introduced all of this by episode fucking 5. Does anybody else remember that there was supposed to be a plan with the gambling app? There was supposed to be more of a plan with that, and fucking Silver Ranger was just like, fuck it, I don't need this. Like, out of nowhere.
Yeah, he
Like,
just
I guess?
He said, yeah, okay, I guess that's it, is the henchman thing, but, like, that's it? Like, okay, you have mooks now. That's your big fucking plan? Okay, whatever. I don't know.
But see, like, that's the biggest problem with this entire fucking show. It's like, you can see the ideas. You can see the wheels of the hamster that the hamster's running on. You can see them very clearly, but you're just taking your fucking sweet ass time for no reason. Like, honestly, all of that stuff with Silver, you could have sprinkled it in from episode 1. But no, it's like, no, we need to spend time on why yellow is poor or something. Which is funny as fuck, because, like, they kind of just hand-wave the fact that his parents are divorced out of nowhere. It's like, oh, yeah, his parents are divorced or something, whatever. That's fine. Like, they just hand-wave so much shit away. That's why I said, this show is the one show I could show anybody. Be like, here's what Takahashi writes like. This is his fucking writing style. It's plastered all over the place, and it's so fucking annoying. Ugh.
And, like, it's kind of disappointing too, because, like, I like the whole idea of, like, the principal's trying to manipulate the government with his whole evil scheme of, like mind control stuff. Like, that's a cool angle there. I like the conspiracy stuff. Like, they have Go On Blue show up, and he's like a detective, and he's kind of already been investigating this case, but he's like, oh well, just so conveniently this new case turned up, and I was already investigating, so I kind of stuck in on here, guys. And then he starts to discover, it's like, oh, my memories have been altered too. It's like, oh, I was in the same position as what was Silver's name?
Huma.
Yeah.
He's like, I like that idea too, where they kind of start setting. It was like, I was basically him. I was the old student council president. I was his old second in command. It's like, I was a part of this plan too, but I forgot about all this. Like I liked that angle. It was a really cool, like, conspiracy angle they went with there too, and they don't really do anything with it. Like, they don't ever have him and Huma have any scenes where, like, they compare. I don't necessarily compare notes, but, like, they compare experiences there.
There's no
like,
heart to heart,
have a
basically.
scene like that. Exactly. It's kind of disappointing because, like, there's cool ideas here, but Takahashi and the rest just, they don't have the fucking time to do anything with it, and more so than Takahashi usually has a problem with it, because like with Xade's problem is that Takahashi had both too much and too little time, where he fucking ran out of ideas near the end, so he's just throwing shit in episodes just to keep things going along, and it became unsustainable.
Oh, yeah.
And then 01, of course, there was, you had COVID, and you had a Mori P being a sociopath, and you had all this other stuff happening, so, like, that got screwed up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But here it's just definitively, like, they had 8 episodes, and they just could not effectively utilize them in any way.
See, the worst part is, and you'll see it if you're in the server, when it's just the Rangers trying to get to know each other or, fucking around. I like that stuff. I like the little comedic moments between them because it's kind of nice. They feel like a fun little unit. I mean, hey, they're a boy band, so I would hope they'd have some chemistry with each other. So it's like, it's nice to see them fuck around like that. But, like, for example, the entire second to last episode where Red is fighting fucking Revicedad, and then they just cut to, like, some random comedic quiz scene. Like, what?
I don't even call that a quiz scene.
Why are we doing
like,
this?
Why is this? Like, first off, I will say, just, like, the whole thing was very jarring whenever they did do it. For example, you have, like, the Yakyu Majin, or the baseball Majin. And so obviously, like, oh yeah, we gotta, like, fast cut to going to, like, a friggin' baseball diamond and playing baseball. And then, oh yeah, we gotta take down the hair cutter person at, like, the salon, and I don't know. Like, basically, I feel like, if anything, that's very reminiscent of Showa, or, like, the original Showa Godanger. Just Godanger, as it was back in the Showa era. But, like, here it's like, I get that they want to do homages to, like, basically that time of storytelling back in 1975. It's like, maybe for, like, an episode or two, that's fine and dandy, but, like, for here, like, for especially, like, Huma versus, like, the new school president is just, it's jarring. It is extremely jarring.
See, I think if you... Oh, sorry, let me get close to the mic. I think if you had just done a... Like, you know what? You know how Forza was a very, like, almost Showa-esque type of, like, series where it's just, like, there's a bad guy and that's it. That's pretty much it. It's episodic as hell. If you had done something like that with this show, I think it would have been just fine. Because now you're trying to add too much to it. It's weird. It's like they're trying to do Showa, but try and mix it with too many modern sensibilities that just don't clash together, and you kind of get, well, nothing and everything at the same time, and it just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, you see, like, I think the thing is, like, the reasons why I really enjoyed the first 4 episodes, especially, was mainly because this was... Initially, it's like, okay, what the hell would happen if we actually had, like, the concept of Gold Ranger in, like, today's sensibilities and standards. Mm-hmm. And, like, if they maybe played up more or less, like, I guess, the slice of life aspect of this show, I think this would be much higher, because Lord knows there's only so much humor I can get out of Aka Ranger appearing out of nowhere and just joining them down for, like, dinner. And let's just be honest, Aka Ranger here is the friggin' best character.
Yeah. Oh my god. Every time
I like the fact that he's just a tulpa.
Yeah, it was so, like, well, okay. Let me say this first and foremost to the arrows. When they showed that Taisei's dead dad was Tomokazu Seki, and they have Aka Ranger being played by Tomokazu Seki, immediately, first thought came to mind is, oh god, they're gonna have Aka Ranger be Taisei's dad or some shit like that, aren't they? I was afraid. I was so afraid the entire time they were gonna pull that twist. No, Aka Ranger's just a tulpa. He's not. He's both real and not real. Like, he's an hallucination, but everybody can see and hear him. But they just choose not to react, because, like, how the fuck do you react to Aka Ranger showing up out of nowhere?
It's like, I think the mom's reaction to, like, Aka Ranger, like, appearing is just, it's like, it's probably the greatest. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, oh yeah, I could.
Like, she literally just said, like, I just chose to ignore him.
It was like, he's always been here, but it's just like, I just don't care. I don't know how I'm supposed to react to this.
Like, look, it's not my problem. It's your problem, son. I'm not going to get involved.
Look, son, you're the one with the schizophrenia, not me. Like, this is your business.
And like,
I like that, but it kind of got a little weird when he starts fighting with fucking Taisei. Like, wait, what? Wait, how is he doing this?
I mean, I guess if everybody can see him, he has a physical form and physical presence. But like, how does that make any sense? Like, where the fuck did he come from? I guess he's just a literal tulpa or something. I don't know. I mean, sure.
You know what? Maybe the principal fucked with everyone's memories so bad they actually just gave the entire world schizophrenia.
Maybe.
They just gave the entire world schizophrenia because it's like, oh shit.
I will say I did really like Aka Ranger in the show because he's both the wise mentor character, and like at the same time they don't really like treat him with respect. They have him just kind of like as a goofy character. Like, he's like AJ said, he's kind of schlubby. He's very schlubby. He's very he's just kind of like dopey in this shit. Like, he'll just like he'll walk in, he'll stumble in through a bush, or like he'll trip over something on his way out the door. He's like, he has this dramatic exit. He's like, no, shit, I tripped. Nobody saw that.
Fuck.
Yeah, or like he'll be there sitting in Taisei's closet or whatever. He'll walk around a corner and like, oh, there's nothing here anymore. Like, I like that. Like, or like he'll just be fucking running around or like standing on top of a roof or whatever just for no reason. He'll just be kind of doing shit in the background. And I like that. I like that they managed to make that work. Is that they managed to make him that the wise mentor character, but also like they treated him like a joke, but didn't like undermine him or disrespect him in any way. I liked that.
Exactly. It's like you said, like it's basically them trying to just have him around just for fun. But it's like you said, they don't disrespect him. They don't make him like too much of a joke. And they do have him like talk to Taisei, and I do like it when he talks to Taisei. It fits. It works. It's just it's at service of really nothing, which is really disappointing. Yeah. Like, come on, guys, give Aka Ranger something. He needs a paycheck. He's not coming on until at least the next fucking Tyson movie.
I was kind of half expecting the rest of the Go Rangers to show up at some point, but no, I guess that costs too much money or whatever.
No, it's fine. We had to use the budget for Saber.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What the fuck was he in the ending credits?
Exactly, yeah, I was about to say, I think... No, I think that was mainly for promotion for... I think, what was it? Superhero Senki. That was the movie.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because... Again, this was a Toei project, and I think, if anything, like, I think the theory I have with this show is that basically, oh yeah, Sentai's kind of doing poorly, so let's get a really popular boy band. In this case, Johnny's, or Johnny's Jr., as it's called. Basically the same...
Sounds like a burger chain.
Well, it's Okay, first off, you're not wrong, but though this is, I believe, the same I want to say the same organization that Tiga's actor is associated with.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, he's part of V6, but I think
Yeah,
at the same time,
it's
like,
the agency.
corporation.
It's the agency, yes. And this is basically their younger, up-and-coming, I guess, boy band slash acting unit, if I'm not mistaken. Or probably just, well, it's obviously a boy band unit. So it's like, okay, let's get these guys, and also let's see if we can make Sentai popular again. And it's kind of mixed.
Which is kind of weird because this was coming out around the time of, as of this recording, this is coming out around the time of fucking Zenkaiger, and I don't know. I thought Zenkaiger was fairly light, or at least fairly decently liked.
I mean,
I think it doesn't seem to be doing well in sales. I don't know. I haven't seen sales charts, but Zenkaiger is pretty popular. It's been getting a lot of love just overall.
yeah, like,
But I think sorry to keep cutting you.
No problem.
I had one thing I wanted to finish
cool.
with before you can go. I guess whatever it is, yeah, Toei is just afraid because this was like, okay, well, we really need to try, and I mean, I guess clearly the show didn't work because now they resorted to the nuclear option, which is getting Toshiki Inoue back. So Lord knows, Lord knows how this show did.
Based.
So yeah, basically with Zenkaiger, it is doing fairly okay, I think, in terms of just like storyline for those who are actually watching it. However, amongst like younger demographics for like kids and whatnot, it's in terms of toy sales, it's not going so well. If I'm not mistaken, and because of that, it's just like, I believe there are again theories saying that like, oh yeah, it's in the same time slot as fucking One Piece. And
it's still not doing well.
Yeah, like, clearly it's like, if you're going to go up against One Piece, which is arguably, despite contrasting opinions to how Wano is basically doing, you're basically putting up a friggin' mouse against a lion, like a fully functioning lion. And yeah, so I mean, it's like you're kind of fighting a losing battle here. So again, it's just like, Sentai's just kind of not doing well. This is, I would want to say, Toei trying to figure out, okay, how can we make Sentai marketable? We'll also maybe try and compete with One Piece, despite the fact that it's both Toei and Toei Animation, and I'm going on a frigging huge tangent over here, but that's basically, I think...
So does Yuya Takahashi for this entire show!
Oh, great, now I'm Yuya Takahashi, great.
To be fair, I think you could probably write a show that's more coherent than Yuya Takahashi. You could probably write it better than he could.
I appreciate it.
You'd probably stay on topic.
Probably would.
Probably would. I don't know, dude. There's so much about the show that I like, in the sense of, like, there's ideas here. But again, as I said before, we're not in the business of giving gold stars for concepts. And there's too much in this show for me to be like, oh, that's great. I mean, you know what? The one thing I'll give the show automatically, suits are nice. I mean, I kind of fuck with the suits. I don't know about anybody else, but I fuck with the suits.
The suits initially, I was going to say the helmets didn't initially make sense. Mainly because they're random letters, but the more I look at them and the more I realize it, the helmets are basically, the letters on the helmets are basically based off their first initial. And that is literally the most boy band thing you can ever do for a show like this.
It's true.
Yeah, I liked that part of the aesthetic. The overall design I thought was really good. It captures the Showa aesthetic of not just the Go Rangers, but that hero aesthetic. Like it reminded me a lot of like Kasan. How do you say it again? It's Kasern, whatever.
Cashersons.
Yeah.
Cashersons.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of that with like the shape of the helmet and the shoulder pads with the collar and everything. But I wasn't a whole big fan of the color scheme. I think my problem is that like the colors of the suit are too they all have the same base color, and then they have their individual hero color as like an accent. Like the suits are predominantly blue, and then red has the red tie and the red faceplate. I think if they just made the whole suits the same, like the color that they're supposed to be, like an actual Sentai suit, they would work a little better. Because like I get it, like it's supposed to be like a school uniform thing, and I understand why they're similar in that regard, but it doesn't exactly translate well with the action there. I mean, Granted, the action's relatively low-key at a lot of points, so it's not exactly hard to follow who is supposed to be who, but at the same time, it is easy to get them mixed up.
Yeah, it's like you said, I wish that if they were going to keep a uniform color with each other, they would have kept the darker blue for like the pants, and everything else would just be their color. But I guess it's supposed to be a boy band thing where they're more cohesive together with a little bit of flair, which doesn't work. But
to go on that
dumb.
idea, if they had the pants and the helmet be that kind of darker blue that they used, because I do like that darker blue, but then they have the whole jacket be their individual color. I think that at the very least would work a little bit better. I mean, hell, you can keep like the undershirt the blue as well, and then it's just the tie and the overjacket. I think then that's fine. That makes them stand out a little bit better. But the way it's presented, it's a little incoherent design wise.
Yeah, it's pretty poo-poo, as they say. But I mean, hey, for the most part, it's fine. I mean, you know what? I kind of like the Showa-esque soundtrack that they gave it. That was pretty fun. I like that little bum 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 bum. I kind of like that. That was cute. It was kind of cute to have that. I wish they kind of kept that for the whole show, though. I kind of wish the opening was like a Showa-esque opening, but whatever.
Yeah, I do like when they start going to the more of the Showa vibes. Like, one of the things I really liked is that whenever they did like flashbacks, they switched the Showa.
Oh yeah.
That's a really nice subtle way to do flashbacks, and it really pays well with the whole Showa elements.
Like
I really digged that element predominantly.
Like, I think if anything, like, again, that whole thing was it's something I feel like you see a lot more within J-dramas rather than actual tokusatsu show, and I appreciate that little note actually.
Yeah. And then the monster suits, like, I kind of dig the monster suits. A lot of them are like, here's a Go Ranger monster, except now it's all fucked up. I like that idea. You know, they have that kind of similar design where they all have the same similar undersuit, and then they have a different head, kind of like Go Ranger did. And there's some variation here and there. The one thing I wasn't a big fan of was like the big metal pin where the heart should be. That just kind of like stuck out both literally and figuratively to me. It's a little distracting. I'm like, that seems like
it's a little too on the nose, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it was a little like
you guys think...
more impacted in. I think it was like half the length. It wouldn't be as bad. I mean, I think mostly because it's like of how long it is. It's like it seems like it's a bitch for filming fight scenes, dude.
Yeah.
You think they kind of nailed it with the suits?
I will say the final boss, the Black Cross Majin suit, is the best out of the entire bunch, which I would hope so. Your final boss has to be your best monster.
So at least look decent.
Yeah.
But I guess we gotta just hit our final thoughts, because I mean, there's really nothing much else to talk about. Jay.
I mean, I remember when the show was coming out, there was some hype behind it, but then it just kind of vanished off the radar. And so when we finally got around to doing it, I'm like, all right, well, let's see what the whole deal was about that. And yeah, I kind of see why. It's fine. Like, the episodes aren't like boring or terrible or badly written or anything. It's just there's nothing really to it. Like, I've seen better J-drama-esque hero shows. I've seen this general concept done better. It's fine as how it is, but it's just... I don't know. I didn't hate watching it, but I wouldn't say I really enjoyed it all that much.
Phil!
It was alright. Just, it's a boy band show with Sentai. It's fine for what it is.
Okay, that's... Chad!
Overall, I had fun with it. Again, this is just kind of... It feels like this is the most Sentai... I think this has things Sentai's currently missing. And I feel like it had the heart for Sentai, but at the same time, was it executed properly? First half, kinda. More or less, yes, but near the end, it's convoluted Takahashi, so I mean... it's mixed. It was all right, but it's overall. I felt like it was mostly kind of harmless. Keyword kind of.
I will. I will add on this. I think if the show was a comedy, like a full-on comedy, I think it would have been a little bit better, because then a lot of like the shortcomings of it, or a lot of the missed opportunities, then you can play that up as intentionally. It's like, oh well, that's just part of the joke. Or I think that would have like, because I've seen this general concept of like, let's take a pre-existing franchise and remake it as a comedy, but it's like starring a boy band, and have it actually really work. There are a couple of shows that I've seen that's done that, and I enjoyed those. But here, where it's playing it more straight and still it's trying to do like a more standard J-drama hero plot, a lot of the failings are a little bit more noticeable.
I'll say it like this: this show tried to bring Showa into the modern age with modern sensibilities, and if you want to see something like that, go watch Kira Major. Kira Major did that way better. I think there's a lot of missed opportunities in the show with characters, stories, the entire premise. Everything about it just sounds like a missed opportunity, and it comes off as a missed opportunity, and I put that entirely up to Yuya Takahashi. I know that he technically only wrote half of it, but fuck it, I'm going to say it's his fault anyways. So, like, I feel like a lot of it comes down to him, because this is the third fucking time he has done this type of shit, where it's like, dude, you have at least, in terms of like full-length shows, you have at least 16 episodes, because it's 48 minutes, 22 minutes, 16 episodes. You have that long. Why are you wasting so much time on so much stuff that doesn't matter? Or why are you wasting so much time, or stretching too much? Or sometimes he just glosses through shit. Like, again, the stuff with Pink just feels so incomplete that I just don't know what he was going with. And I just don't, I don't like it. Honestly, I'm not going to say I hate this show. It's just, there's so much that just annoys the fuck out of me about this show. And I'm like, no, don't watch it. Like, if you like cutesy wootsy stuff like this, again, go watch Kira Major. Kira Major was done perfectly well. It was way better than this. It's longer, yeah, sure. But trust me when I say the longer runtime is kind of warranted for Kira. I shouldn't say warranted, but you don't feel it as much as you do with this one.
Oh yeah,
totally.
So, well, boys, another week, another dollar, another spin on the wheel,
another cancellation by Twitter.
I don't think we're gonna get canceled because of this.
We'll see.
I think we handled it with tact.
Mostly handled it with tact. I mean, obviously, well, I would say other than the moments where we were obviously joking, but, well, as we've learned, they don't know what jokes are, so.
No, they don't know what a joke is. Oh, no, they do know what a joke is. It's just jokes are bad. They're bad for you. You can't be a joker.
Hitler made jokes. You can't make jokes. Jokes are bad.
Oh my fucking God. All right, spinning the wheel, boys.
All right,
let's get something spiritually miserable. Not like a bad show. It's just, let's just get depressed. Let's get real sad, I guess.
What if it's another Sentai
so you
season?
want like, I don't know, Jetman or something?
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Let's watch Jetman. I hope we get Jetman or something. Because you know
just
what?
Watch. It's gonna be like Man Jet or something.
In always coming back, we might as well see how his career started.
Oh, didn't he start with fucking not Harbor Ranger? Oh my God, I don't remember the name of the one that MMPR was based on.
Zyuranger.
Zyuranger?
There you go.
Well, I think it was more or less
because Jetman was the season right before that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, so I swear he got. Oh.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, that's always good. Oh, I love that. I love that dejected. Oh. It's like old times.
Do you guys want to? Do you guys want to pull up? Fuck. Do you guys want to pull up again?
What now?
That depends. Did we get Ghost?
Yes.
Yes. Fuck it.
Yeah,
This didn't happen.
Let's do a respin. I feel like let's.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do a respin.
I
Okay,
wanted
we're-
suffering,
we're-
not that kind of suffering.
Just remember, this is our one respin of the year.
All right, but if we land on Ghost again, we're respinning it until we don't get Ghost.
Could you fucking imagine?
The sheer improbability.
You know what? You say that, but we killed Ninja, and then we got it the exact fucking next episode.
That's true. That's true.
I don't even know how that happens. Okay, it's slowing down.
I wonder if this next one we're gonna have is gonna have as many returning Sentai actors as we did this one.
I hope so. I hope it's not just Yellow Lion.
It's always Yellow Lion, AJ.
yeah,
It's
that's the
always
thing.
Yellow Lion.
Oh, hold on. I want to check. I'm gonna check how long this is first.
60 episodes. Fuck that.
100 episodes. Oh, Jay, you're gonna like this one.
Oh boy,
You're gonna have a
baby.
fun with this one.
Oh boy, baby.
We are finally going to watch some more Oja.
Fuck yeah!
We're gonna be watching fucking Changereon.
Changereon,
Oh my
baby.
god. Changereon, whatever, same shit.
Huh. Nice.
Speaking of insanity, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh my god, this was written by fucking Inoue, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
Wait for the
dude!
mackerel.
Let's go! Okay. Now I'm really into this. Oh my god.
We get to watch
Oh.
Inoue Kino. We get to watch Oja come back. We get to watch Jiro Okamoto destroy his spinal column. This show has everything, baby.
Dude, this show better be amazing. Like I've gotten hyped up on it for so long. This show better be fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby. All right, boys and girls. Next week, Jesus fucking Christ, what is this download page? So yes. Well, all right. So everybody, next time we are gathered here, we are going to be watching Changereon. Because Inoue said if we do it, he won't stab us tomorrow. Well, okay. So, that's Chad.
Okay, time to go change the government with my phone app. Later, guys.
That's Phil.
I gotta go bury some bodies.
Oh, I love the way he said that so earnestly.
That's Jay.
Time to go say more insensitive things on Twitter.
Well, you get the help of Aka Ranger to do it.
Yeah, he's right here. He's got his hand on mine as I'm on the keyboard. He's telling me what slurs to use because that's
Jay,
that's
Jay.
the real teamwork.
Jay, he's not there. He died in the car crash years ago. You have to let him go.
What are you talking about? He's standing right here, AJ. I'm looking at
It's
it.
not your fault, Jay. The accident's not your fault.
Akira, just say something, please. Let them know I'm not crazy.
That's not Aka Ranger. That's just Tomohakuseki's fucking
no.
body.
Aka Ranger!
That's just Tomohakuseki's body, bro.
He's
He's dead, Jay. He's dead.